Welcome. It is time to grab a seat, buckle up, and take a ride with me through the wild, wild west of the Web3 universe, where we will learn all about coins and tokens, NFTs and contracts, digital real estate and the metaverse, and so much more. There will be a lot to get through on the block, but I'm here to help you pave the way and avoid those nasty pitfalls and rug pulls so you don't get hurt. I will introduce you to interesting characters and concepts as we go about this journey. Welcome aboard. Your ride starts now. What's up? What's up? Dr. Brook, your local cryptoprector, here with you today for another episode of Dr. Brook on the Block. If you have been paying any attention to the financial markets, not just cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, but the entire financial markets, you know we are living in a time of red. Lots of blood in the water. The bear is starting to come out of hibernation, and we are seeing things plummet and fall and come crashing down. Now, this is a time where a lot of people may be running in fear and freaking out and not sure what to do and taking their money and holding on to it, or not even dipping their feet into the water and diving in. But I will tell you, we're going to talk today about the things that you can do when we are leaning into this, when we are getting into this bear market, and how you can come through on the other side a little bit scratched up, but unscathed in the most part, and really truly make a substantial difference to your financial asset. So tug on that seatbelt. Make sure it's all tight, because we are going in for a wild ride, because that is exactly what the markets are right now. They are wild. But I am actually very excited about the time that we are living through right now in this moment of time, as a new technology is coming to the surface, as a new technology is starting to rear its head through the soil, and that root is coming up and forming a beautiful, beautiful plant. This new technology is coming through on the backs of all this financial crisis, where the entire financial system is coming crashing down. Inflation is higher than it's ever been. The Feds just hiked the interest rates in the United States up by 0.5 percentage point. There is so much happening, but there is also so much incredible opportunity. So hang on, let's dive right in. So the bear is coming out of hibernation. The bull is tired out. He's been running real fast, doing his thing. He needs a break. Here comes the bear. Droopy, sleepy eyes, rubbing his eyes. He's starting to come out of hibernation, and he's showing up, and he's, just not really feeling too excited about things. But what happens in a bear market? As things are crashing, as prices are falling, can you purchase more for less? Absolutely. In a bear market, you can purchase more assets with less physical dollars. It's like things going on sale. It's like running to the grocery store and getting your favorite food and being able to get a surplus of that for less buying power, or having more buying power to purchase more of that, right? Like, this is very, very exciting. So what can we do in a bear market when all of these things are happening around us? The one big thing that I want to make sure you walk away after watching this episode or listening to this episode is this: do not run in fear. Do not run in fear. Learn to love that bear. Give that bear a huge hug and lean into that. Lean into the world in which we are experiencing right now, and know that there are more opportunities now for financial wealth than there have ever been during bull markets. Bull markets are fun and there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of people screaming from the rooftop and buy, 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 buy. Bear markets aren't so fun. And it's when you don't hear a lot of the people who've been screaming buy, buy, buy talking. They go also into their hibernation shell and they're afraid to come out. The fear has overcome them and they no longer show up in the world in which they should be showing up. Take this time right now to really lean into this space. If you have yet to invest in cryptocurrencies, if you have yet to invest in any blockchain technology or NFTs, as everything comes crashing down, this is your opportunity where the noise starts to lessen and it becomes quiet, and you can actually have the education and hear the words that are saying. You can take the time now to learn about projects, to get involved, to really figure out what all of this really truly is. Because if you haven't quite picked it up yet, I'm very passionate about this space. This is a turning of tides for us as human beings on this planet to really come together as a people, as a human race, as humanity around the common goal of decentralization. Decentralization is us getting the power back, is us taking the reins and saying, you know what, no longer are we playing by your rules. No longer are we doing things according to what you want us to do. We are taking the power back. Now, don't be naive to think that the governments and the powers that be aren't going to try to have their part in this, are trying to create their version of this, are trying to do things their way, because they recognize this is a fast moving train and one that cannot be stopped. Because you might be able to shut down the internet where I'm at here, but can you shut down the internet in Canada or all these other different countries, or doing all these different things? They don't have the same hold on people in the same way when they have people in all different parts of the world working for a common goal. Little side note or little tidbit, little side story is just, of course, generally speaking, we're all working towards the same goal. There are bad actors. We're going to work on avoiding those. That's what I love teaching you guys. That's what I love helping you guys really understand when you're entering this space, that there are people that are working with you. There are people that are working to help you. There are people working as a common goal to build these communities, to build these networks, to strengthen the power of the chain and bring the power back to the people. And then, of course, there's those people who are trying to, just get their coins and cash out and do what they do for a quick turnaround. But that's not you. That's not me. And that's not what we're here for. So during this bear time, during this bear market, we are going to embrace that. We are going to lean in. We are going to learn. We are going to do everything that we need to do to make this the best possible financial outcome for us in the future. Now, let's just talk general market trends. So typically market, trajectories kind of run into 4-year spans. So maybe like a 4-year bear and a 4-year bull and a 4-year bear and vice versa. We've seen the United States government pump so much money into the marketplace over the last 2 years that it's now finally starting to catch up, because there's no way you can pump that much money into a marketplace and not have these effects happen. So naturally, we're going into more of a recessive type situation where people are holding on to their money, not spending, prices are increasing, going higher. And so there might not be a lot of money to invest, or a lot of, things, a lot of resources to put into a space like this. And that might be so. I'm going to give you some ways to be able to invest in the marketplace currently that might be helpful moving forward. We're going to get into that in just a second, but I just want to mention too that if you don't have the financial resources to invest right now, you might have the time to put in to learn this. This is not only is this a technology, this is an entire paradigm shift. This is something you must understand. This is like when the internet came out and our grandparents or our parents were talking like, what are you talking about? I'm going to be emailing my friends. What? Like, no, because they wrote everything by hand and sent hand lettered, mail out to their friends or to whoever. The thought of sending a message on a keyboard on a screen that gets sent all the way to China or to India or to Australia, like that couldn't be fathomed at that time. And here we sit today going through email boxes that have hundreds of thousands of messages. Guilty, guys. Because you know what? Like, there's stuff that I don't want to read, and maybe I should just click and delete it, but sometimes I don't got time for that. But this is the reality that we live in. This technology is going to shift the entire world. If you've listened to the previous episodes of this podcast, you know the building trajectory, how things are going, how things are moving, NFTs, home purchases, smart contracts, no attorneys, all of these things. So lean in, learn more about this space during this bear market. The other points that I wanted to talk about too is they give you the opportunity, these bear markets give you the opportunity to really invest in potential upcoming projects at really deep discounts. So actually, there's a lot of projects, probably about 5 different projects that I'm looking at right now that I've been watching and I've been looking to get into that I see a lot of potential with. And now I'm like, oh, look at that. I could get X, Y, and Z for this amount of money, and I'm getting more X, Y, and Z instead of less for the same amount of money that I would put in. So to me, there's a lot of upside to that because when I entered this space a little over a year ago, there was one coin specifically that I was looking at. It was trading at $13. And in November of 2021, it got upwards of like $140. Now, currently in this state right now, as I am recording this in early May, and the market is going all kinds of crazy, for lack of a better term, all kinds of crazy, that same coin right now is about $69. Now, it's not quite to that 13, nor do I think it's ever actually going to hit that point again, just like Bitcoin in the early days. Bitcoin is coming down underneath that $30,000 mark. That is 50% off the price it was at its all-time high. Now, will Bitcoin ever drop back to its $13 a coin market number? Heck no. No. It will never drop down below that. So it's just continued to climb. We're just going through a period where everything is dropping. People are pulling their money out. People are getting out of the market, but they're also losing out on all of those potential earnings that they can be a part of in the future. So it's one of those things. A patient said this to me the other day, and I was like, light bulb, major light bulb. He says, I would rather be early. I would rather be years earlier, 10 minutes earlier, 10 months early. You can add whatever number or whatever time frame you want to the early. I would rather be X early than 1 minute late when it comes to investments. Can you imagine getting involved with Amazon when it first got publicly traded, or Facebook when it was first publicly traded, or Tesla? I mean, all of these companies, when they went on their initial public offerings, what you could have purchased them at to where they are now, even in the red. Even in the red, Tesla is at $800 and something, even in the red. Even in the red. That is way higher than what it originally entered the stock market as. The cool thing with blockchain, with cryptocurrencies, with the NFT, with all of the Web3 space, this is booming. There's so much money being dumped into projects, so many like incredible things. It is a time period where the ones that are not going to make it are going to start moving by the wayside. And this is your opportunity to truly invest into those blue chip projects, the ones that are going to be the big dogs, the ones that are going to make it when through thick and thin, when things go sideways, the ones that are going to stand the test of time. Those are the ones that you want to look into. Those are the ones that you want to research. I research a lot of these projects. I talk about this a lot. If you are new to this space, this is something you must learn about. I am teaching a class. This will be released before the class gets, before the next class. My next class I'm teaching is May 19th, Getting Started in Crypto, the things I wish I knew before I got started. I will break down all of this crazy noise that people are talking about up here, and I'm going to help you put the puzzle pieces together so you can have a logical conversation with other people about blockchain, about Web3, about crypto, and understand what is being talked about and understand how to apply it to your own financial life. Because it's not about just acquiring more knowledge, but how to actually apply that knowledge in your everyday life. Now, it's not just about investing. Blockchain is more than just investing. It is going to be an entire way of life. It's going to be how we interact with our society and our communities and our voting rights and all of these different things that are going to be coming out as a result of this new technology. Because if you talk to somebody even 30 years ago about the internet, you were crazy. Like, the reality is you were insane and crazy. So invest in yourself, invest in this space, understand bear markets are truly where millionaires are made. Truly, truly, truly. On that note, I kind of want to end, not such bad news, but to bring your attention to the fact that even the stable coins, so there are things in the marketplace called stable coins. They're supposed to be pegged to the dollar. So when you invest $1 into a stable coin, that stable coin remains at $1. Maybe it fluctuates 99 cents or 101 or back and forth, one to 2 pennies in either direction. But for the most part, a lot of people, took some of their crypto losses and dumped it into stable coins just to keep it there, just to say, okay, we're just going to have the stable coin there and we'll figure out what other projects or companies that we want to put our money into. Just today, this morning, a huge stable coin called Terra, UST coin, a stable coin, Terra Luna coin, actually lost its footing, actually lost its peg to the dollar, to the US dollar, the fiat dollar, which actually is the currency for 197 countries. Not necessarily the currency that 197 countries use, but it is the currency that a lot of these countries like peg their assets to. Their asset has value because it's pegged to the US dollar. Actually, scratch that, Brooke. You know better. There is no US dollar. It is the Federal Reserve note. Federal Reserve note. That peg to the Federal Reserve note, or those countries using the Federal Reserve note as their currency, are now seeing depreciating assets. As the dollar value depreciates, those assets depreciate. For the first time ever in the crypto space right now, that stablecoin fell to 68 cents, losing over 40% of its value in just a mere moments. Are you kidding me? If this is not a huge sign for you to really truly like lean in and learn what it is. First of all, if any of that I mentioned didn't even make sense to you, you need to take my class. This is a shameless plug for that class, because I believe this will help you set you up on your trajectory. This will get you to the places you need to go to get there. But anyways, that coin dropping to 68 cents is a huge red flag to the way the dollar is losing its value. The fact that that could not even remain stable is a huge, huge sign, cautionary sign for you, for the world to understand we are really leaning into so much red. There's not a whole lot of green in the marketplace. I invest with conviction. If you know anything about what I teach, I talk to you about investing with conviction and not with your emotions. This is a time for you to really, truly buy up a lot of things that you are excited about, projects that you know are going to really make it, that you believe wholeheartedly are going to make it because you've done some due diligence, you've done research, and you can stand behind it. I recently saw a tweet from Elon Musk's mom who posted about a project because one of his big things is don't invest into stocks you don't believe in. Don't invest into companies you have no business investing in if you have no conviction around them. He used his own words. Those are mine, but that was the premise of the tweet. And his mom posted a retweet to that reminding him about this company he had told her about when they were in South Africa that her financial advisor didn't want her investing in. Didn't think it had any value, but Elon did. And that company rose and became a lot higher than it was at that time after the fact. And so his mom was reflecting on the missed opportunity because she didn't invest in something that her son truly believed in, but really going off just what a financial analysis was telling her was going to go up or down. A red candle as the market comes down, or a green candle as the market goes up. And sometimes people get too caught up in the reds and the greens and the reds and the greens and blah, 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 that they get so emotionally caught up mentally that they can't even see what is truly happening in front of them. They're moving from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Peel it all back. Peel it all back. We are going into a really fun, exciting time, and I am going to love that bear. I'm going to hug that bear. I am going to just ask that bear, what is it that you see is going to be the next greatest, most amazing project out there? Because maybe I'm missing it, and maybe that bear knows, because he's wiping his tired eyes, his sleepy eyes, and he's like, oh, I have to come out and play. That bull got tired, and now I have to be out here. But you know what? I'm going to love on him. I'm going to give him what he needs. I'm just going to be there, and I'm going to lean in even more. And I'm actually if you're listening to the podcast version of this and not watching the video, I hope you can hear the big smile on my face, because this is so exciting. This is such an exciting time to be in this space. I am more drawn to the Web3 world than I have ever been over the last 15 months or so. So lean in, learn. You're in for a wild ride. Hope you had that seatbelt on tight. Get off safely from this ride as you embark on the real world. But you know what? Don't forget the Web3 universe on the other side of this, because, man, guys, we are playing all out. I'm so excited you're here. Again, for those of you who are new to the space, want to dip your toe into the water, link to the class will be in the show notes and in the video description on YouTube. So for now, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me for another ride in the wild, wild west of Web3. This is the real wild, wild west, and this is super, super excited, and I'm so happy you're here. Congratulations. You made it through another round on the block with Dr. Brook. I hope you laughed and learned a bit more about this crazy Web3 universe, but how simple and fun it can really be. Would you be so kind as to leave us a review and share it with your friends? It would mean so much to get this out to more people as we embark on the greatest transfer of wealth that has ever happened in history. Hope you enjoyed yourself. We'll see you on the next one.